Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time clicking on. My name is Susan and this is my booktube. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a book rec tag, and it's been going around because Miss Steph Bower started this tag and I've watched so many videos on it, so I thought it would be fun if I put my 2 cents into book recommendations as well. So we're gonna do that. And I picked out books that I'm only going to talk about once. I think there are 2 books, I think there are like 1 or 2 books that I repeat, but I was really trying to just talk about one book in every category so that I don't repeat all the time. But I love all of these books that I'm going to talk about, and I hope that I can give you some recommendations for your future or current TBR. So let's get to it. So I have all the questions right here on my computer, so if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm wondering what question comes next. First question is a book you tell people that is your favorite. So this is like people that you don't see that often, that you know that aren't book readers, that aren't big romance readers. Maybe they just want to pick up a book, maybe they're going on vacation or something and they want to pick up a book or take it with them, or if it's like a parent that's just asking for a recommendation. I usually play it safe and I will say Little Women, which is a classic. So this one I really enjoy. It's about 4 sisters. They all have very different personalities, and it's like a different play about their lives, and so it's really fun. I do enjoy the most recent movie that came out of this. So yeah, this one it's just a safe game, safe bet. They're gonna enjoy it. Nothing to worry about, you know? It's good. Question number 2. A book everyone loved but you didn't. So unfortunately that would be this one, Say You Swear. I know that this one was super talked about, especially around the holidays, so I picked it up, I read it, did not love it. I understand the hype around Noah Riley, but I thought it was a little bit too young. I did not enjoy all of the drinking, all of the swearing that was going on in this book, and it was quite a slow burn. I did not enjoy the love triangle as well. But I mean, Noah Riley and the relationship that he had with his mother did save this book, and there is like quite a twist at the end of this book, and I would say like the last 100 pages of this book is what saved it. But still, like it's just a book to me. Like it's nothing, I'm not like connected to it as with some of my other books. A book you read the fastest. So I picked 2 books for this one. I picked Ugly Love because this one is just one of my absolute favorites. This is the first book that I read in under 1 day because I just could not put it down. So this one for sure. And then the second one is Better Than the Movies, which is one that I just read in January. So this one was a favorite. If you're wanting to know a little bit more what it's about, go check out that video. But yeah, these 2 I would say are books that I read the fastest, which is like in under 1 day. Question number 4 is a book that deserves more hype, which is When True Loves. I don't have it here with me, but I absolutely loved that book. It has to do with Emma, and she has to choose between her past love and her current love. So I don't want to like spoil too much, but basically what happens is that her husband goes on like some sort of adventure and he gets lost, and so they declare him dead. After she found out that her husband was dead, Emma obviously like took some time to heal, but it's been 3 years since then, and so she has started dating and she's moved and she's just a different person. And then she gets a phone call that her husband is not dead anymore, and so that's what the story is about. It's basically her trying to decide, like, do I want to stay in the current life that I have made, or do I want to continue with like this past love that, you know, was like my high school sweetheart. So that one, I believe that needs like more hype, more love, just because it's like such a cute story, and that one like did pull on my heartstrings as well, so it's good. Question number 5 is a book that is becoming a movie or TV show. So I know that I just talked about When True Loves, and that one is actually becoming a movie as well. It comes out in April sometime, so I'm really excited to see that one. And then the other one is Daisy Jones, which I believe is already out. So yeah, super excited to see both of them eventually. A book you have reread the most. I think this will be no surprise. Archer's Voice. This one is my absolute favorite book ever, like ever. Like I don't know if anything will top Archer's Voice because It's just so amazing. I know that last year it like blew up and a lot of people were reading it, so I really hope that you guys have this either on your TBR, on your carts, on your Amazon wish list or whatever, but you just need to get your hands on this because it's so good. It is such a cute story. Archer Hale and Bree. Small town, friends to lovers, sign language, they're both healing. Guys, like this book, like it is hyped up for a reason, and I think that you should read it if you have not read it. A book from a genre that you don't typically read, that would have to be The Silent Patient, because it is like a psychological thriller, and I don't usually venture to books like that. I usually just stick to like romance or young adult, and so I actually really enjoyed that one. It was so good. Because I don't read books like that, I didn't see the twist coming, and it like blew me away. So I love that book. I don't have it with me, so I'll put a picture up here. But yeah, that one was really, really good. We basically follow a girl who killed her husband, and she does not speak anymore, and so they put her in like a psych ward, and they call in a psychologist, I believe his name is Theo, who has to get her to speak so that they can find out what happened. And basically that's the entire story. But then like when the twist happens, you're like, whoa, I did not see that coming. So that one is really, really good. So the next question is a book that deserves all the hype it gets, and I believe that that one is Love in Other Words. So if you don't know this one is Friends to Lovers. It's like friends to lovers to strangers to friends to lovers again. So it's a second chance romance. It's with Macy and Elliot, book lovers. They became friends when they were really young. Over summer they had a cottage beside each other, and they would go out and play games, and they would read, and then on one evening something tragic really happened, and they both stopped talking to each other because of this incident. So when they find their way back to each other, it's like a total shock, and I believe we also get like dual timelines, so it's like from when they were younger till like right now. We get what happened when they were first meeting, and then like as they were growing up together, and then like present day. So it is really, really good. The hype is equally amounted to what this book is. So it's really good. A book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. So I guess it's kind of like the first one, but it's just worded differently. But I chose All Roads Lead Here because this one is so fun. This one is so cute. It's so good. We meet Aurora. We follow Aurora as she is navigating through traveling, and then she stops in one small town where her mother is from, and this is the small town where her mother actually went missing, and so she decides to do the hike that her mother took when it was like her last time hiking. She meets everyone in the town, and she's like on this journey to understand what happened to her mother, and she meets Mr. Rhodes, who is like the grumpiest man ever. I think he's like a forest ranger or something, and she's like renting out a room in his garage because it was the only place affordable. And then she meets like her mom's best friend when they were younger. Found family, grumpy sunshine, small town trope. Like, it's just so much fun. There's so much plot and so much character development throughout this entire story, not just with Aurora, but like with Amos, the son, and Mr. Rhodes. You just fall in love with everyone because you get to know them with so much depth because the way that this book is written, it's just so well written, so good. Highly recommended if you are looking for a new read. It is a slow burn, but I think the book is just, it's more about romance. It's about like I said, the character development, her looking for her mother, adventure, a lot of forest, sleeping out, like found family type of stuff. So good. A book that has your favorite characters. Icebreaker. This one was so fun. I absolutely loved this book so much. I read it, I don't remember, I read it at the end of last year sometime, and it's so good. It's like I had like a book hangover after I read this book, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna read now, because this one was just so amazing. So we meet Anastasia and Nathan, and it is like reverse Grumpy Sunshine, where Anastasia is the grump and Nathan is the sunshine, and he's like the teddy bear boyfriend. Nathan is the hockey captain and Anastasia is the figure skater, and they actually have to share an ice rink for some time, because the second ice rink that Anastasia was using is shut down for some time. And so now they have to share an ice rink. They have to like coordinate their schedules together to know who is able to use it at what time, etc. And so Anastasia is like so grumpy. She's like, you guys joke around way too much. Like, I don't have time for you. I'm taking this so seriously. I take my figure skating so seriously, and I just like, I don't have time to play around or whatever. And both coaches for the ice skater and the hockey players like are forcing them to like be friends and to like get along, because obviously like they have to share the ice rink. And so they do that. Nathan tries really hard to get everyone to just get along, be friendly enough, you know, and it works out for some time. They like go to parties and they have dinner and they play games and whatever, and it's like a found family. So reverse grumpy sunshine, sports romance, college romance, found family within Nathan's friend group and Anastasia. But Anastasia and Nathan are just like the two characters that I absolutely adore. So this book is really, really good. Next one is A Book You Wish You Could Live In. I just finished reading this book, and it's Twisted Games. I did not read Twisted Love because there was so much like, yes, I love this book, no, I don't love this book, and so I just didn't want to to risk it. So I started with this one, and from the glimpse that I got in this book with Ava and Alex, I don't think that I would have liked the first book, because Alex just sounds like such a not nice guy. So I'm happy that I didn't read it. I'm happy that I started with this one. I really, really like Eldora and just like the town that they live in, this like European rustic old town with like a lot of history. And I loved Bridget and Reese and their story, and everything about this book is so cute. The cottage that she lived in when she was in school, and then now when she's like becoming queen, she lives in the kingdom, and they have like all of this land, and they go to like visit different towns in order for people to like reacquaint themselves with her, and she gets reacquainted with the people, and it's just, oh, I love it. I love it so much. Yes, this one definitely I would love to live in. Next question is A Book You Thought You Would Love but Ended Up Hating. This one. Now, It Ends With Us was good, okay? We meet Lily, we meet Atlas, we meet Ryle, okay? Everyone has their opinions about what they think about that book, right? I thought this one was gonna be like Atlas's story, and just like how he grew up, his youth, you know, how he was an orphan for so long when he moved away to Boston, etc. And it wasn't that. And like how he made a name for himself when he became a chef. Like I just thought that it was going to be that, and then also pick up from where Lily and Atlas left, with her like running into his arms and telling him the middle name of her daughter. But it wasn't. Like, it was kind of like an extended epilogue. I know that opinion has been going around, because that's exactly what it feels like. It's like, okay, they're happy, they're together, there's a little bit of bumps, and then you get like all of these side characters, and then it's like, okay, a little bit, and then it just feels like it just drags on, because in the book that says like some time has passed after every few chapters, and you're just like, okay, like when are they gonna get their happy ending? And then they finally get it in the last chapter, and so it's kind of like it just feels like there's no plot. It's just like not interesting, the story at all. So I did not enjoy this book. I think I gave it like a 2 out of 5. So yeah, it's just like, it's cute. I understand it. It was unnecessary. A Book You Thought You Would Hate but Ended Up Loving. So this one, I didn't think that I would hate it, but I didn't think that I would enjoy it as much as I did. And that one would have to be The American Roommate Experiment. I read this one in January, and this was my first time reading a book by Elena Armas, and I really, really enjoyed this book. I spoke about it in my wrap up for the month in January. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, you can check out that video. But yeah, this one basically you're following Rosie and Lucas, and they end up in an apartment together. And Rosie is writing like a romance novel, and she's lost inspiration. And so she talks to her friend Lena, who says, oh, maybe you should start dating again, you know, just to get some more inspiration. And so Lucas overhears that conversation, and he says, okay, well, you can date me. And so she's like, oh, okay. And they both secretly have like crushes on each other. They just haven't said it out loud yet. And so you get like these really cute moments between them. You get like really cute dates between them as well. And Rosie then gets her inspiration back, and she starts writing this novel. And Lucas doesn't live there. So I should explain that they're living in Lena's apartment, which I believe is in New York, and Lucas is from Spain, right? So he has to leave at some point. And so they're fake dating and being roommates during his visit to the States. And so they both know that it's coming to an end at some point whenever he has to go back. And so they're both like dreading that, but also like enjoying their time together to just like hold on to all of those special moments. And so this book is so adorable. I love it, and I would recommend it for sure. There's not a lot of spice in it. It's very good, very cute. A book that made you cry, it would have to be Reminders of Him. There hasn't been a lot of books that made me like bawl my eyes out. Ugly Love was one of them. Archer's Voice was another one, but like I said, I didn't want to repeat them, so I will do Reminders of Him. So in this book we meet Kenna and Ledger, and Kenna is, at the beginning of the book, she's just getting out of prison because of an incident that happened 5 years prior with her ex-boyfriend. And so she is doing her time. She just finished it, and she was pregnant during her first year in prison. And so when she gave birth, the parents of the ex-boyfriend actually took that daughter in. And so her desire and her wish throughout this entire book is to just get to know her daughter. She's like, I just want to see her. I just want to speak to her. I just want to know how she's doing. I want to know if she looks like me. I want to know if she looks like Scotty. Like, I just want to know her, right? And so yeah, the entire book she's like looking for her daughter, goes and lives in the town that her daughter is living in, but she obviously just doesn't want to like show up unexpected with nothing. And so she finds a job, she finds an apartment, she starts working. There is the ex-boyfriend's best friend, and he is in the daughter's life, and he's present in the daughter's life. He's like an uncle to the daughter, right? And so he is like really overprotective of the daughter. And then Kenna and Ledger meet, and they bump heads right away, obviously, because they both find out who Ledger is and what their connection is to one another. And so the entire book, it's her trying to tell him, like, you need to hear my story, like, you need to know what happened on that evening, so that you can understand, you know, like it wasn't just you that lost a friend, it was also me. Like, I lost my friend, my lover, my best friend, you know, my boyfriend. And then finally you get to a chapter where she's like writing out like that whole evening that happened. And yeah, that chapter just totally broke me. I like was bawling my eyes out at 3 a.m. and then there's letters in here, right? It's Colleen Hoover. You always have letters. And so it's Ledger like reading that letter. And so he's reading what Kenna wrote about Scotty on that night and how she was feeling and like what her mistakes were on that evening. And so you get like Ledger's perspective, and then it's just like everything just changes after that point. And so this book is just, it's so good. I think this is like one of Colleen's best books in my opinion. But yeah, so good. A book that you wish you could read for the first time. So this is a repeat. This would have to be Archer's Voice. I'm not gonna say anything because I already spoke about it, but this one would definitely be a book that I wish that I could read for the first time, because I just fell in love with these characters so much. Question is a book you think would make an amazing movie, and I would have to say It Happened One Summer. I don't know if it's been picked up or anything, but if it has or if it hasn't, I think that it should be picked up, because this one is like such a cute summer rom-com. It would be so hilarious to see Piper and Brendan like bantering between one another. Brendan being a fisherman, Piper being like a Hollywood socialite, social media goddess, whatever. But I think this book would be so much fun to watch. Watch it play out, you know, small town, fisherman town, grumpy sunshine. They're two worlds trying to like find out if they can even be together, and I just love it. I think this would be such an amazing movie. Okay guys, so that is everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you can agree with some of the recommendations that I gave out. If you have your own recommendation that you'd like to share, you can leave it down below and I will add it to my wish list, because it doesn't take a lot for me to add stuff to my wish list. So thank you again for joining. Thank you for clicking and watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.